This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
What's up guys, BeastFighter1 here. Welcome to a game called the Stanley Parable. Now, as you saw, we just witnessed the story of Stanley, and he worked in room number 427, which is this room, and now we are about to find out where everyone is. Hello?
All his coworkers were gone. What could it mean?
I don't know.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I hate Mondays. Okay.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
No, none at all. Calvin this door.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
As you can see, the narrator is pretty committed to this story, and it wants us to follow it. So on this one, we're gonna follow everything he does. He tells us to do.
He entered the door on his left.
So we're gonna enter the left door, and you know, look at these paintings. Look at these paintings, and go into the meeting room.
There was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Maybe. All right. We could explore this a little later, but for now, we gotta go over to our boss's room because we are in trouble. We are in trouble. That's why he called us here.
Staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
You were caught watching cat videos on the job. All right. It's a nice looking building too. Hello?
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him?
Who?
What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number. 285.
This is a very humorous game if you couldn't tell.
But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
2845.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the
random buttons on the keypad.
Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing.
I just stood over a hole.
He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Hello? Is there anything over here? There's nothing over here. So is this? Listen to the click sounds. It's a keyboard. Alright, let's click the down button and we shall go down to whatever we end up in. Loading. It's good. It's good. I love these kinds of games. You know, like very narrative games, and like you have to be very literal about your actions. Now we're following everything that he tells us to do.
Into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar.
Oh, my stomach feels weird.
Stirring of emotion in his chest.
And my stomach.
As though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job.
Why do I press buttons?
Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him?
Where are my feet?
This question would not go unanswered for long.
Really? Ooh. So, as I said before, in this run, we're gonna follow everything that he tells us to do.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
But later on, we could like tamper with that. Mind Control Facility. What is this? Bam. Up. Bam.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens.
Whoa.
What horrible secret did this place
Imagine the
hold?
GPUs needed to run those babies. Never mind.
Did he have the strength to find out?
There we go. Boop, 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 boop. And should be another button. There we go.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee.
There's 427. There's it right there. There's zoom in on that. Zoom in on
The
that.
lives of so
There it
many
is.
individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
I love his voice. I love the narrator's voice. I forget the name of him though.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true.
No, it
Had
couldn't.
Stanley really
No,
been someone
I don't believe
else
it.
all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job?
Maybe.
That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
This looks cool though. I'd love to see this in,
No.
like,
He
in an
refused
actual
to
building.
believe it. He couldn't accept it.
Fired.
His
Who's
own
fired?
life in someone
Is that
else's
employee number
control.
601?
Never. It was unthinkable.
Ah, it's so bright.
Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Maybe. Utterly blind.
The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Ooh. Mind controls idle, awaiting input. Here we go. System power off. Darkness. Silence.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty.
Was it? Oh. Ooh. Ooh. Moments. Like Elsa. That's exactly what you've been doing. Let's do it, baby. Was I? I could be really sad. I could be really mad. Fade to black. And the end is never the end, is never the end, is never the end. So, that concludes the first ending of the Stanley Parable. If you guys want to see more of this, then let me know in the comments below. I might not do one for a while, as I need to finish up the other playthroughs I'm doing. But let me know, just in the comments below, or by leaving a like. Because if you enjoyed it, please leave a like. It really helps the channel out a lot. Leave comments as always. Share with a friend on Facebook and Twitter, and subscribe so don't miss another video. Until then, fight the beast, my friends. I will see you all in the next video. In the place amount your friends. That's true. I like it. I can just sit here and watch the clock all day. You just watch it in real time. This is fun.